Welcome back to The Deep Dive, the show where we give you the insights you need to conquer any field, or, in today's case, any room you walk into. Today we are diving deep into something that I know causes a lot of stress for English speakers, and that is the fine art of small talk. And we're not talking about just, fluffy conversation. These are those essential, short, casual chats that, well, they build connections, they open doors, and frankly, they stop things from getting super awkward.
Yeah.
We know a lot of you come from cultures where you just get straight to the point. But in the English-speaking world, you really need this middle step. So our mission today is to give you a toolkit, basically. Phrases and strategies for pretty much any situation.
It's so important. I'm glad we're talking about this. I mean, you can master complex grammar and still freeze up when someone asks you about the weather.
Right.
It might seem small, but it's a big deal for communication. It's really the foundation for trust.
That's it exactly. Trust. So by the end of this deep dive, you won't just know what to say, but also how to steer a conversation, from the first hello all the way to a smooth goodbye. Let's start with the basics. So as we said, a lot of our listeners are used to being very direct. So why? Why does the English-speaking world need this little dance first? Why can't we just get right down to business?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer is that small talk is basically the social lubricant.
A social lubricant. I like that.
Yeah, think of a conversation like a machine. You need some oil to stop the gears from grinding. It's this low-stakes way to just test the waters, to build rapport before you jump into something deeper.
So if you skip it, you come off as, what, rude?
Cold, maybe even a bit aggressive. You skip the whole rapport-building step, and people can get put off by that.
So it's not just filler. It's a kind of screening process. What are its main functions then, beyond just, being polite?
I'd say there are 4 really critical ones. First, like you said, it breaks the ice, takes that initial tension away. Second, it helps you avoid those horrible, awkward silences. When you're just standing next to someone at an event.
Oh, the worst.
The absolute worst. Third, and this is really important for you, the listener, it helps you gauge the other person. What's their mood, their energy? Are they open to chatting? You learn all that in the first minute.
More time.
Exactly. And fourth, it's the gateway to everything else. Asking for directions, pitching an idea, asking someone out. It all starts with a little bit of comfortable chat. If you can't do that, the deeper stuff just isn't going to happen.
That makes a lot of sense. So to help everyone avoid a complete disaster, what are the biggest traps, the things that just shut a conversation down immediately?
Oh, there are 3 big ones. The first mistake is getting too personal too soon. This is a huge cultural red flag.
Okay.
You never, ever ask about someone's salary, their politics, unless you are 100% sure of the context or, their relationship status right away. It has to stay light.
So meeting a new coworker and asking how much do you make is a definite no-no.
A huge no-no. It makes people feel really defensive. The second big mistake is dominating the conversation. Small talk is a two-way street.
It's like a game of tennis.
It is. It's exactly like verbal tennis. If you just talk for 2 minutes straight, you're not having a conversation, you're giving a lecture, you hit the ball, then you wait for them to hit it back.
Right. And what's the third one? I think this is the one that really kills the momentum.
It's the one-word answer, the monosyllabic response. Someone asks you a question and you just say yes or no.
Or fine.
Fine is the worst. You're basically signaling, I'm not interested, you do all the work. It just comes across as rude or bored. You have to, and I mean always, give the other person something to work with.
So if they ask, how was your week? Instead of fine, you say.
You say, it's been pretty busy, actually. I've been working on a big report, but I'm definitely looking forward to the weekend.
Ah, okay. So now they have 3 things to pick from. The report, the weekend, or why it was busy.
Precisely. That little bit of extra information is the absolute lifeblood of small talk.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Now let's get into the how. Let's build that practical toolbox. When you're nervous, what are the, say, 4 safest topics you can always fall back on?
Right. These are your anchors. They work pretty much anywhere. Number 1, no surprise, is the weather.
The classic.
The classic for a reason. It's shared, it's immediate, and it's totally impersonal. But the key is to not just state a fact. Don't say, it's raining.
So what do you say?
You turn it into an invitation, like, looks like we're in for some rain later, huh? Or how about this unpredictable weather we've been having? You're inviting them to agree with you.
I see. So you're creating a tiny shared experience. But what if you're somewhere the weather is always the same? sunny Southern California.
Then you can talk about that. You could say, can you believe another perfect day? I almost wish we'd get some rain for a change. It's still about the experience of the weather.
Got it. Okay, what's next after the weather?
Number 2 is current events. But, and this is a huge but, we're talking late current events.
Light. So pop culture sports.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Local happenings, a new coffee shop opening up, a big game that was on last night. The absolute firewall here is no politics or religion.
Right. Those are conversational minefields.
They're black holes. They just suck all the rapport out of the room. So you stick to things like, did you happen to catch that game last night? Or, I heard they're opening a new park downtown. Have you seen it?
Okay, that makes sense. Local stuff is good because it affects everyone, but isn't divisive. What about for work events?
That brings us to topic number 3, work or studies. This is very context dependent. It's great for professional networking or academic events.
So you could ask something like, how's that big project coming along?
Perfect. Or, are you enjoying your classes this semester? It shows you're interested in what they're focused on.
And a quick tip here, if you're not sure if someone's working, instead of what do you do, which can be awkward, you can ask, so what's been keeping you busy lately? It's a lot softer.
That's a fantastic adjustment. And that leads to our final and maybe most useful topic, number 4, hobbies and interests. This is where you can find a real connection.
How do you open that up without being nosy?
Keep it general. Got any exciting plans for the weekend is a great one. Or, I'm looking for a new book to read. Have you read anything good lately? You're asking for a recommendation, which people love to give.
That's smart. You're making it useful. So just to circle back on one thing you said earlier, the idea of reading the room. That seems critical for all of this.
Absolutely vital. A success is knowing you have maybe 30 seconds in an elevator, so you talk about the building. A failure is asking about weekend plans in a serious business meeting. It shows you don't get the context.
Right. Okay. So let's put this into practice.
Yeah.
We have 3 scenarios that I think will really help listeners see how this works in real time.
Great. Let's start with what I call the period versus comma rule. This is for insight 1, a casual social gathering.
Okay. So I'm at a party. I've just been introduced to someone. They say, this is a great party. I really like the atmosphere.
The bad response, the period, is just saying, yes, it's nice. End of story. Conversation over.
They have to start all over again.
They do. The comma response is where you agree, and then you add one small specific detail. So you'd say, yeah, it is. The music is great. I think this is a 90s playlist, which is a fun throwback.
Oh, I see. Now they can talk about the music or the 90s or something else. You've given them options.
You've given them multiple doors to walk through. It makes you so much easier to talk to.
I love that. Okay, insight 2, a networking event. This is where the pressure is on. Someone says to me, I work in human resources. How do I get past, well, that sounds interesting.
You have to move from general interest to a specific question. Show you value their expertise instead of just, that's interesting. Try, oh, human resources. That's fascinating. What's the most surprising hiring trend you're seeing right now?
Wow, that's good. You've shown you're listening, and you've asked them for an expert opinion.
And it creates instant professional respect. Okay, so for our last one, insight 3, a brief encounter. Let's use the classic coffee line example.
We're both in line. It's moving slowly. The person in front of me sighs and says, this line is taking forever.
First, you validate their feeling. Tell me about it. Then you gently pivot from the shared problem, the line, to a shared opportunity.
The coffee.
The coffee. You say, did you manage to try that new holiday blend? I heard it's good. You've shifted the focus. Then, if they respond well, you can make it a tiny bit more personal. Are you heading back to the office after this? It's a complete polite interaction, all in under 2 minutes.
These examples are so helpful. Okay, so we started the conversation, but now there's that other fear, the fear of it just dying. How do we keep it going?
This is all about technique, not panic. Technique 1 is active listening. That means you're actually hearing what they say, not just waiting for your turn to talk. You use those little verbal nods like, oh, really? Or, that's interesting. Technique 2 is the F4D method. This is your emergency checklist if you feel the conversation stalling. It stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams.
4D. Okay, that's easy to remember. How would you use it to move from one topic to another?
So let's say they're talking about their occupation, maybe how busy they are. You can bridge to recreation by saying, wow, with all that going on at work, what do you do to relax? Or how do you find time for yourself? It's a natural transition.
Because you're connecting the different parts of their life.
Exactly. And the third technique is called mirroring or echoing. This is so simple, but so powerful. You just repeat a key word they said back to them as a question.
So if they say, I just got back from a hiking trip.
You'd echo, a hiking trip. Wow, where did you go? It prompts them to tell you more, and you didn't have to invent a new topic from scratch.
That's brilliant. Okay, so we've started, we've sustained. Now we have to end it without just awkwardly walking away.
Yeah.
The graceful exit.
The exit is so important. You have to signal it clearly. You show you enjoyed the chat, but you need to leave. A great time to do it is right after they've said something interesting.
So what are some good phrases to use?
There are a few types. There's the soft exit. It was so lovely talking with you, but I should probably go and mingle a bit more. Then there's the necessity exit. Well, excuse me, I need to go find my colleague.
And what if you want to leave things open for the future?
That's the future commitment exit. Something like, it was great talking to you. I really hope we run into each other again soon. The key is to smile, make eye contact, and be genuine.
That was an incredibly useful toolkit. So let's do a quick recap. We've learned small talk is the social lubricant. It's essential for building rapport. We have our safe topics, weather, like current events, hobbies. And we have that amazing F4D method, family, occupation, recreation, dreams, to keep things flowing. But I think the biggest takeaway here is something really simple. You just have to practice. You won't get better at this by thinking about it. You have to go out and actually do it.
That's it, exactly. Be brave, start small, and remember that most people are actually happy to talk to you. The barrier isn't them, it's usually just in our own heads. Start with what's right in front of you, the line you're in, the food at the party, and the rest will follow.
Thank you so much for breaking that down for us. These are such actionable insights for the deep dive audience.
It was my pleasure.
And for you listening, your assignment is to go out and use that comma rule today. We'll be back next week. See you then.